Yeah, obviously just a good win. I thought we played a much better baseball game than we did yesterday. It got out of really yesterday. Did some good things. Just got a little messy late. Really proud of our effort. We talked a lot about just the toughness that it takes, and I'm telling you, just being on the other side, it's tough at times when that game gets out of hand to keep running off good at bats and to keep coming out of the bullpen and pounding the strike zone. And I thought for the most part we did a good job. Had a couple of errors to lead off the eighth that got us in a little bit of a bind, but outside of that, just a good baseball game. It was good to have Riley Quick back. Good to get out there and just compete a little bit. I thought we ran the bases at a really high level today. So happy with the group, and it's a good one. Now we turn our attention to tomorrow where it's 0-0 and going to be 40 degrees. It's going to be more Bradley's home turf, so we're going to have to come out and be as tough as we can be tomorrow and go compete with them.
Just talking about Riley, how good was it for you to see him after last year, pitching just 3 innings? He still pitched 3 innings, but much better outcome this time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're, more than anything, and I said this on the broadcast, it's just you're just really happy for the kid. I mean, yes, it's huge for us. We love having that dude being able to run out there, but just really happy for him because when you get this game that means so much, and as hard as these kids work, when you get it taken away from you, it's tough, and he had to battle through that last year and grind through that, and he's done nothing but work his tail off. So we're very fortunate that he's where he's at right now, and but more than anything, just really happy for him and all the work he's put in to kind of come out and be able to perform the way he did today is huge.
Was that the goal today? Was just to pitch him, just to pitch everybody, or was just to give as many people? Yeah,
and I kind of said it yesterday. I think the strength of our team is its depth on the mound, on the pitching side of it for sure. And Q is still obviously on a pitch count coming back. I mean, he's not even, it'll be 12 months, I think, this upcoming week off TJ. So he's not even a full year out. So he's still going to be on a pitch count for kind of the foreseeable future. You'll see him continue to inch up a little bit more. But we knew he probably had around 45 pitches to play with. We were hoping we could get him through 3. And, man, he cruised through that pretty well. So once you did that, it was just, get those guys in, let guys get their feet wet. And the beauty is we've used a lot of guys in 2 days, and there's still some really capable arms ready to come that we're going to need to ring the bell for us tomorrow.
Coach, how nice has it been to add Fowler and them all to the bottom and top of your lineup, to add a little more speed and contact, versatility, the whole lineup in general?
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing we really wanted to do, is be a little bit more dynamic, and those two guys definitely do that. And this guy here is kind of the same way. I know he hit that ball 800 feet today, but I think one of the beauties of him is versatility defensively, being able to play some different positions. But it's not just power, and I thought last year we had power, but we didn't have maybe the athleticism we needed. And so that's what we really went out and were looking for. And I think we did that in Bono. I think we did that in Fowler. G certainly fits that. Those guys still have some thunder in the bat, but they can also run the bases and play the game and do some of those things that it takes against really elite arms, because when we get into SEC play, the innings of 5 or 6 hits in an inning aren't very often. So you've got to be able to go first to third. You've got to be able to take the ball in dirt. You got to be able to steal a base. You got to be able to score from second on a hit. And I think we have more personnel that can do that. Those two are great examples of it.
Okay, you talked about that home run, first home run for Alabama. Was that your first Grand Slam in college, or was that?
No, sir. It's not my first one.
Just talk about that and just what that moment was like.
I was just trying to get a pitch I could drive. I knew we had the bases loaded, and I love hitting with people on base. So just going out there ready to go, ready to hit, and just made sure, fought off a couple pitches, and just didn't want to miss that one. So.
Just talk about the offense. 19 runs. What was the difference today?
It was just electric. Every single person in our lineup was just. I just felt like we were ready to go, and taking the pitches out of the zone, hammering the ones in the zone, and we didn't want to. Coach told us before the game we didn't want to rely on 2 out hits today. So just making sure we didn't even have to worry about that, and I think we did a lot better job with that today.
Coach, what are your thoughts on a new first base rule implemented into college baseball this year?
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's. I'm a big believer, man. Nobody called me and asked my opinion on it, so we're going to play by the rules we're given. It's different, and I know it's very player safety driven. There's some really weird nuances to it that truth be told, we're even still working through, and you talk to some umpires and you get some varying things because everybody's trying to figure it out. But anything that puts player safety first, I'm going to support, and I think that's what it was to do. I was kind of a little bit intrigued to kind of follow what the big leagues did and go with the bigger bases, but kind of decided to go with the double base. And if it's gonna keep those collisions at first down, if it's gonna take that out of the equation, guys getting their ankles stepped on, collisions, that's fine. Like I'll support that in a heartbeat because these kids work too dang hard for a freak play to end a year. And shoot, I had a first baseman in college, and we were playing Chicago State. Drew Beery, one of my best friends, my roommate, man, he had a play take him up the line against Chicago State, and you had that collision, ended up fracturing his elbow, lost him for the rest of the year. So anything that will bring player safety to the forefront, I'm going to be supportive of. It's just there's a little bit of a weird adjustment time as we all kind of figure it out, and even umpires navigating it. So it is what it is, and we'll play with it through the rest of the year.
How encouraging is it to see a guy like Will Hodo in your 3-hole get on 5 times in one game?
It's just what Doe does, man. That guy is an on-base machine, and I don't even know how many hits he got today. What did Doe have? He had 2 knocks today too. So, but that's just what he does. His feel for the strike zone is so good, and our pitchers will tell you we got some dangerous hitters in the lineup. But the guy that's just they hate pitching to the most is Doe, because you'll set him up for a pitch and he'll execute your pitch just off the plate, and he doesn't flinch at it, And it's just his maturity, man. His last year, he comes up yesterday, punches his first 2 at bats, and a lot of guys can start to like grip it tight or spiral a little bit, and Doe doesn't panic, man. He's a cool customer and came out and ran off good at bats, was all over the base paths today. We have something we track with our hitters as far as just toughness stuff, kind of akin to what Nate does with the basketball stuff with the blue collar points. We have some stuff that we kind of work through, and Doe won that yesterday, even doing that, and I'll be interested to see where he's at today. But he's just a breath of fresh air, man. I love that kid so much, and I'm gonna miss like heck when his time at Alabama's done, because he's one of my favorites.
And I know he didn't play today, obviously, but how nice has it been to add a veteran catcher like Brady Neal, who's obviously won in the SEC and won a national championship before?
You could just see it with Brady yesterday, just his poise behind the plate. He's just been there before. He's not sped up. And that's going to be huge because there's a lot of guys with experience. But even a guy like G, this will be his first time navigating kind of the SEC, and it's the same game. But there is something to be said for guys that have kind of been in the atmosphere a little bit more and done some of that. It's just there's a comfort level in having a guy at that position do that, and we're very blessed to have 2 really good catchers. I thought Plattner was awesome today. I thought he did a phenomenal job behind plate. I think he only had 1 hit today, but he was all over the barrel, took good swings today. I thought he caught the ball, blocked some really good balls. And so when you combine him and Brady back there, that's what you got to do. We're not going to get through 65, 70 games this year with 1 catcher. And, we had to rely on Gassetti really heavily last year. But I want to make sure, man, the fresher I can keep those 2, the more productive they're going to be. And just really happy with that catching core for sure.